Hey there! In this video I'm going to talk about how to influence and sell with power, one-to-one and one-to-many. This is such an important topic because you need to influence and sell to succeed as an entrepreneur. Without sales you don't have a business, so it really is the most important thing of all. I want to begin by looking at selling with power one-to-one. But first, because I want to carry on creating great value for you, I'm going to invite you to join my channel, hit the button that says subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications so you can get regular updates from me. What most people do is they get overexcited and try to sell the features of their product or service up front. Let's say you're trying to talk someone into buying your interior design service. So you go to their house and you might say, we use that fabulous paint from Farrow and Ball because we love those rich pigments. Those are features, that's what they are. The problem with selling features is there's an assumption that your customer shares your excitement about the rich pigments of Farrow and Ball. But maybe they'd be happy with a cheap everyday paint because paint isn't important to them and they'd rather invest in some new flooring instead. Maybe you've been told to sell a benefit. A benefit is a desired effect or result, and that's important in sales. For example, you might say, imagine the stunning impact of those striking Hague blue walls in your kitchen. How impressive that would look to your guests. How beautifully they'd offset your collection of stainless steel hanging utensils. That's a little better because you're painting a picture in their minds, but you're still feeling your way in the dark and you're more likely to miss the mark than hit it. What happens if your prospect hates the colour blue? They don't care about impressing their guests and they actually want to get rid of those stainless steel hanging utensils and go for a streamlined modern look instead. You'd have turned them off up front and they'll probably decide to go with someone else instead. So how do you get it right? As a business owner, your most important job is to help clients work out what they want. Take the lead by asking questions that stay focused on them. Find out what's important to them about the product or service you're selling. So in the previous example, you might say, what's important to you about interior design? They might answer, well, I want a clean, airy feel to my house, but I'm not sure how to achieve it. And I'm too short on time to do it myself, which is why I decided to call you in. So they've told you they're short on time, which gives you the opportunity to build rapport and ask them about their life. So what keeps you busy, you might ask? Is it work or something else? After they've opened up to you about how much time they have to travel and how they enjoy it, but sometimes it feels like too much pressure and too much time away from home, then you might tell them about a time when you felt the same way, when you were short on time and under pressure too. And this is empathy and it'll make them feel safe with you. After this, you've developed some good rapport and they're beginning to feel like you understand them. You can then ask them what kind of look or feel they want to go for, and they might say, I want to go for a sleek, modern look with a lot of white, in which case you can see how your suggestion of blue walls which offset their stainless steel hanging utensils would have missed the mark. The next questions you should ask should go deeper and revolve around the word why. Why do you like the idea of a minimalist, sleek look in your house? And the client might say, well, when I come home from work, I just want to feel peaceful and free and for my environment to be a reflection of this. So now you've learned that your prospect values feeling peaceful and free. They have a busy life. They travel a lot. There's some stress that makes them long for peace. Peace and freedom is a very high value for them. So you can initiate a conversation around stress and challenge and the need to feel refreshed and peaceful. And you could ask them some powerful questions that help them build their dreams and advance their vision, like, what does peace and freedom look like for you? And they might start talking about how they love being in nature or playing with their pets or curling up on the sofa with a good book or cooking their favourite meal. Anything that reminds them of that great feeling of peace and freedom. And because you've drawn out those powerful thoughts, those deep feelings and desires, they're going to associate you with them and they're going to feel good about you. You've begun the process of building rapport, which means they'll be more receptive to you. They'll start to see you as a trusted advisor and a confidant rather than just a salesperson. So next, say, what's been holding you back from doing something like this before? And this is where you should start to dive deep into their pain or discomfort. They're going to let you know about their blocks or objections, which you can help them solve. You've come over to their side and you're exploring alongside them, helping them think about their challenges and difficulties and how they might resolve them. Once you uncover their biggest challenge or frustration, the one that's holding your client back from reaching their goal, and then take the time to reframe what they're saying so that you're explaining the problem to them better than they can explain it to themselves, they'll automatically believe the solution can come from you too. It's just the way humans work. They might at this point open up about some other difficulties, maybe with their finances or the fact they've been so overwhelmed with work until this point. And then go back to the interior design example and say, well, I'm looking to get the house completely remodeled, but I don't want the stress of living in chaos. And so you've got the option to ask them what might eliminate that stress for them. They might say, well, I guess we could stay in an apartment over the course of a month while it was blitzed. Or our friends have already invited us to stay with them, so maybe we could take a break and go there. The thing is to enroll them in the solution and always link their highest goal or value to it. So, for example, you might say, look, you've told me how important peace and feeling refreshed at the end of a hard day is. How about if we helped you find a peaceful, refreshing apartment for a month where you can just relax and enjoy some freedom while we do the work? Would that help? So ask them next, what's been the impact of you not taking action sooner? This question is important as it allows them to dwell on the consequences of their inaction. And this also gives you the opportunity for a trial or test close. So if we were to find a way to take away that stress that would involve managing an interior design project on top of your travel and work, would that make it easy for you? They'll probably say yes, because every yes is a step towards commitment. The next thing is to get specific in terms of helping them visualize the roadmap or blueprint. So say, tell me about your milestones and goals and exactly what you want to accomplish over what time frame, and let's look at how we can achieve it. You see, people have to see something before they can believe it. So by helping people get clear on their goals, you're creating a roadmap in your mind to help them bring that to life. So here's the thing, the better job you do in stating their real problems and needs and helping them get really laser focused around their goals and the roadmap to achieve them, the easier it will be for you to build rapport and a sense of trust. And once you show them you know exactly what it is that they want to achieve, they'll get very grateful and they'll feel a deep trust and rapport and really close to you. You become a partner in their success rather than an opponent. You've actually crossed over to their side. Ask them what their goals mean to them and what they look like, how they'll know when their milestone has been achieved. Every time they ask a question, go deeper until they've got a clear vision of what matters and why. What should you do if after all of your efforts someone says, I'll get back to you? This is a brush off which happens when they feel that you haven't met their needs. Don't allow them to ghost you in this way and put yourself in a low status position. Instead, challenge them and say, you know, when someone says, I'll get back to you, I don't usually hear from them again. So I'd love to get clear about something. What would it take for you and I to decide to work together and to make that decision today? Often they'll volunteer an extra objection or ask for more information. They might say, I need to talk to someone, or I need a clearer idea of the plan, or it's a little too expensive for me, or I have to check with my partner. Once you find out what their final objection is, you can say something like, I could offer you a payment plan, or what if we waive the upfront fee? You said you have to check with your husband. Shall we see if we can get hold of him? Remember to keep checking back to their highest value. So say, I want you, or I want you both to feel really peaceful and relaxed about this decision. So I'm going to try my best to make it as low stress for you as I can. And that's how to sell and influence with power. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.